Last time I said the money you save on food can go toward accommodation. Today I'm talking about that accommodation. For first-time travelers to Japan, the place where you sleep is where people most often overpay or make poor choices. For example, a Ryokan listed at $25,000 is the price per person with 2 meals included. If 2 people stay, that's effectively $50,000. The displayed price has traps like this. Today, I'll break down the differences between hotels, Ryokans, and capsule hotels, hidden taxes, booking traps, and where to sleep. All of it. I live in Tokyo, and I'll guide you through 4 ways to stay, taxes nobody mentions, local booking methods, and where to sleep, in order. First, let's look at the types of accommodation. Choose based on the experience you're buying, not the price. Business hotels are near stations, compact and standardized. APA, Toyoko Inn, Dormy Inn, Super Hotel, they start around $6,000. But in central Tokyo during peak season, they can exceed $30,000 some days. Each chain has its own character. Dormy Inn has a public bath, and at night they offer free yonaki soba noodles. Toyoko Inn offers free breakfast. Super Hotel often has locations with natural hot springs. If you're 1 or 2 people focused on efficiency, this is the place. Ryokans, especially hot spring Ryokans, are a cultural experience with tatami mats, futons, and attendants, plus 2 meals included. Check-in is at 3 p.m., but Ryokans with dinner ask you to arrive between 5 and 6 p.m. because they need to prepare dinner. The same room becomes a living room by day and a bedroom with laid-out futons at night. Prices run from around $15,000 to $45,000 per person, with 2 meals included. You're buying how you spend your time, not just cheapness. Capsule hotels are pods for sleeping only. Floors are separated by gender. Suitcases don't fit in the pod, so you leave them in a separate luggage room or locker. Some don't have locks, so keep valuables with you. Lights go out between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m., and eating or drinking inside the capsule is forbidden. 9 hours starts around $5,000. It's an option for nights when you've missed the last train or want to sleep cheap. 2 more. Hostels and guest houses have dormitories from $3,500 to $5,500. You can interact with other travelers in the shared lounge, and there's a higher ratio of foreigners. A unique option is temple lodging. You stay at a temple like those in Koyasan, eat Buddhist vegetarian cuisine, and join the morning service. But it's for people who want more than just sleeping. The bill is bigger than the rate. Looking at room rates alone will trip you up at checkout. There's another layer outside the displayed price. Accommodation taxes are spreading nationwide now. It was about 17 municipalities by the end of 2025, but is expected to reach about 50 by the end of 2026. Tokyo is scheduled to shift from a fixed amount to a fixed rate of 3%. Kyoto will revise in March 2026 with a maximum of $10,000 per night. Osaka lowered its tax-free threshold from $7,000 to $5,000 in September 2025, making accommodations of $5,000 and above subject to tax. Okinawa will start a 2% tax with a ceiling of $2,000 in February 2027. In hot spring areas, there's an additional hot spring usage tax of $150 to $500, paid separately in cash. Japan is becoming a country where taxes increase just by sleeping. Knowing cancellation policies in advance helps too. The standard practice is rates rise gradually from a few days before. For example, 50% if you cancel the day before, 100% if you cancel on the day itself. Plus, during peak season, booking sites have more plans with advance payment and no free cancellation, and the cheaper the accommodation, the stricter the late cancellation policy. Always check the cancellation conditions before hitting the booking button. The room nobody warns you about. After you book and enter the room, you might be confused. Let me show you two realities first. Japanese doubles are narrower than you think. The width is about 140 cm, smaller than an American queen at 152 cm. A Japanese double is also about 195 cm long, shorter than the U.S. standard of about 203 cm, so tall people's feet stick out. And the budget economy double sometimes means one semi-double bed used by two people, a cramped setup. If two people are staying, choosing a twin bed is safer. Most hotels come with a unit bath, a bathroom, toilet, and sink all in one. That cramped space has a reason. This was an invention to meet the 1964 Tokyo Olympics deadline. Toyoko Inn New Otani had to build 44 rooms on schedule, so Toto developed it. A traditional bathroom used to take a month per room to install. This could be set up in hours. The cramped space was a product of crash construction wisdom. 3 etiquette tips about the room. When tying a yukata, always overlap with the left side on top. The right side over, worn in reverse, is a death shroud, so absolutely forbidden. On tatami mats, remove your slippers. There's a dedicated slipper for the toilet, and you change into it. The most common mistake is wearing them back into the room. At a public bath, rinse your body with the rinse water before entering the bath, and don't put towels in the water. Basic amenities like shampoo, rinse, toothbrush, and toothpaste are usually available at any accommodation. Previously, they were laid out in the room, but recently, more places have them grouped near the front desk in a self-serve style where you take only what you need. After checking in, look at that area on your way to the elevator and bring up anything you need. The tattoo wall. Here's important information for people considering hot spring ryokans. Tattoos have barriers. Tattoos may prevent you from entering hot spring ryokans or public baths. A 2015 survey by the Japan Tourism Agency found that 56% of respondent facilities refuse tattooed guests, with only about 30% accepting them unconditionally. 3 solutions. Book a kashikiri private bath. Hide it with skin-colored cover stickers. Confirm directly with the facility before booking. Most can be overcome with these. Booking like a local. Where and when to book. Here I'll teach you the local way. Use booking sites strategically. Rakuten Travel and Jalan, the domestic leaders, accumulate points and have thick inventory of Japanese accommodations. EQ specializes in high-end hotels and ryokans. For foreigners, multilingualbooking.com and Agoda are easy to use. However, in 2025, Agoda had repeated problems with your reservation wasn't secured when you arrived, and the Japan Tourism Agency requested the Japanese subsidiary improve operations. If you're worried, booking through the accommodation's official site or a domestic site is safest. Next, when to book. Cherry blossoms and autumn foliage, Golden Week, and Obon, accommodations fill up first and prices rise 60 to 100% above normal. Golden Week in 2026 is April 29th to May 6th. Obon is August 13th to 15th. Cherry blossoms are expected to peak in Tokyo on March 29th and in Kyoto from late March to early April. Popular accommodations sell out half a year to a year in advance. Book at least 3 to 6 months ahead or 4 to 5 months for cherry blossoms. Saturdays and days before holidays disappear first. If you use a private rental, Airbnb-type room, you need to know the law. The Residential Lodging Business Law caps operations at 180 nights per year. Legal properties have a registration number displayed on the site. A room without a number is likely an illegal short-term rental. There's risk of last-minute cancellation or enforcement. In 2026, There was even a first enforcement action against an unregistered illegal rental. Check the number before booking. Sleep where the trains meet. Finally, the most effective point. Location matters more than room grade. Where you stay matters more to your trip than room grade. For your first time, base yourself inside the Yamanote line loop or on the line itself so you don't get directions wrong. The Yamanote line is a loop serving Shinjuku, Shibuya, Tokyo, and Ueno. Shinjuku, the reference station, is the world's busiest with over 3 million people daily. Starting from here, you can reach most places with fewer transfers. Choosing the suburbs just for cheapness is a trap. A few thousand yen cheaper per night vanishes in daily rush hour, worries about missing the last train, and round-trip transport costs. Within Tokyo, one way is 30 minutes for Y330. Miss the last train, and a taxi ride costs a night's accommodation. To stay cheap, don't choose suburbs. Pick affordable stations in the city center, like Ueno, Asakusa, or Ikebukuro. Kyoto lacks accommodations to meet demand. During cherry blossoms or autumn foliage, it's fully booked weeks in advance. When that happens, stay in Osaka. A Shinkansen takes 15 minutes to Kyoto, about Y1400 in unreserved seating. A hidden gem is Otsu in Shiga, 2 JR stops to Kyoto, about 9 minutes, Y8200. Rather than insist on Kyoto and book an expensive room, it's often cheaper and more comfortable to stay next door and commute. The key points in short. 4 ways to stay. Taxes exist outside displayed prices. Rooms and beds are narrower than you think. Check tattoos in advance. Look at the booking timing and registration numbers. Your base is the Yamanote line. Keep just these in mind, and you won't overpay on accommodation. Next time, paying in Japan. Cash, IC cards, tax refunds. Which ATMs work? I'll break it all down in order. See you in the next video.